Welcome to episode 20 of New Indian Woman podcast. We are airing this episode towards end June 2020. Yes, friends, we have completed 6 months of this year already. Yes, it is that time of the year that comes and goes silently, without much fanfare. Life just continues to go on in June. In a typical routine, depending on your role, it is just another day at work or home. Kids are back at school after the vacation, and so on. But this year, it is different. Depending on where we live, we are likely to be in different stages of coming out of a lockdown phase due to the COVID situation. And it is simply not possible to imagine how the coming months or weeks are going to be. If we look at what we have achieved, or simply put, what we have done in the first half of 6 months, the answer is most likely to be one word: COVID. Yeah, because of the lockdown, I had Fill this however you want. Kids were at home and it was chaotic, or there was no household help, or I was stuck in some other place. It was a struggle and what not. Or it could have been worse, especially if your immediate family or friend circle were affected. But come on, are the last 6 months only about COVID? What you set out to do and what you achieved may not exactly align, but still, it is quite possible that you managed to do a lot of stuff. It may be a good idea to spend a few minutes reflecting on this to be kinder to yourself. But coming back to the topic, how do you want the next 6 months of 2020 to be? I have always used this silent and bang in the middle month to examine what I have done in the year and what I want to do. Now, this year, due to COVID, when the whole scenario has shifted so much, it is all the more important for us to step back, do this review, and define afresh for the rest of the year. We may face a different set of challenges in the next 6 months, or that doesn't matter. Why? While going somewhere, if you suddenly see unfamiliar landmarks and no road in front, or the road is blocked, what will you do first? You will assess where you are, how far you are away from where you set out to go, and then decide afresh what you want to do next. The new path may be a different set of problems, but then that doesn't prevent you from assessing where you are, correct? This assessment has helped me gather all the activities and attention spread over so many different directions and realign them with what I want to do as well as what is expected of me in my various roles. Regardless of your profile, this helps. Interested to know how to go about doing this? Listen on. If you already have written down your goals, then this is the time to review the progress with respect to your goals and decide the next steps. No, I won't repeat the goal setting part. I invite you to listen to episode 10 on goal setting. You will find the link in the show notes of this episode as well. By the way, that is one of the most popular episodes in this channel. If you have not set your goals at the beginning of the year, what stops you from doing that now? Please go ahead. Do set goals for each sphere of your life: work, home, family and friends, finance, and self. Depending on your age and profile, your goals in the area of work may be different. If you are a student, this would mean both your academic and non academic goals in the context of your school or college life. If you are a stay at home mom, what does work mean? Again, this is a very confusing topic for many people. Work doesn't mean what you do about managing things around the house. That comes under home. This is where you start thinking about your hobbies or starting something new or volunteering. Yes, I hear you. I know volunteering is another topic which deserves an episode by itself. We will do that. If you are in a job, as part of the reflection, you must also include what you want to do here. Do you want to move to a better job? Do you want to start a business? Do you want to try for a better post in the current job? Coming to what is expected in your current job, are you clear of that? Maybe in your job there is the yearly objective setting based on which appraisal is done at the end of the year. If yes, then this is the good time to check where you are with respect to the objectives. In fact, I challenge you to write your self-appraisal in the middle of the year for the first 6 months. In my experience, I have often seen people in my team referring to the whole year based on the most recent events, and that too using generic expressions like I have consistently ensured my deliverables around time. But imagine a team member is saying something like this: in project A and in project B, which were crucial for our department, and we had a major target in May, I made sure every single milestone was completed on time. In fact, I even shared tips with the entire team on techniques I used to complete early. Suppose someone said that in their appraisal. As the boss, how would you feel? Which team member has done better? Which team member is helping you to go back to those tasks or those achievements and then evaluate? I have seen the benefits of doing this for myself at my workplace and later extended this to other areas. If the objectives are sales targets or mainly numbers based, it helps for you to look at them now and then decide how you can improve them further. If you do not have objectives defined for your role, maybe you should take the opportunity to note down what you feel you did well and what you feel you could have done better. Then maybe you can have a meeting, either formal or informal meeting with your boss to take a feedback. Believe me, that will really help you go a long way. Otherwise, what will happen? The days will be lost in the regular routine stuff, handling the day-to-day challenges, attending meetings, and whatnot. It would also help you to step outside and see it from a different perspective. For example, if you are a teacher, maybe this is a time to see who are the teachers from whom you could learn some best practices and how to do this. If you are someone from IT, this is the time to also examine how many hours in the day you are in emails, a messenger, or equivalent. Examine whether you are really required to be there. What would happen if you decide to optimize your use of time? On a similar note, you could do this kind of a check with respect to your goals in the home front or finance or family or relations and self. Okay, you have not set goals? No problem. Shall we examine a few leading questions in each of this category? Home here refers to running the house you stay in to ensure you and whomever is with you, they have a safe and hygienic physical space with healthy food and meeting your level of comfort. So these questions that you could examine are: am I okay with how my house is run? Is there something that needs to be done to ensure we don't have any hitches? This question would cater to the basic needs. For example, did you end up reaching office late many times because your vehicle frequently caused problems? Then something needs to be done. Or are you doing some things at the last minute or once it is overdue, like rushing after the overdue date to pay your policy premiums, or running around at the last minute because your gas cylinder is over and you didn't book on time, or even forgetting to switch on the motor. So you switch on the motor in the morning, there is no power, there is no water. You know how it goes. This means something needs to be done. Let's come to finance. The question could be, especially in the current times, is there a risk of financial stability? Or if you are fairly well off, do I want to contribute to some cause that is close to my heart? Or should I start thinking about having budgets and some defined limits for my shopping to overcome my online shopping craze? When it comes to family, what is it that I can do to bring the family members, maybe immediate family members or extended family members, more closer? Considering travel is likely to be ruled out for some more time, how do I engage with my family members who are away? No, engagement doesn't mean you keep on putting posts in the family WhatsApp group, especially forwarded posts. As a family, are we getting more distant from each other and getting consumed by our devices? When it comes to self, what is it that I would love to do for myself? Here, it may be as small as sitting in your favorite corner, reading a book for half an hour on weekends. But once you recognize that is what would make you happy, doing that increases how happy you feel about caring for yourself. Or it could be you wanting to do something but having no clarity on that. You could decide to chat up with people close to you to open up and seek their help. You think this is ridiculous? Try it out. Still not convinced? Let us examine something else. Install an app like Quality Time for Android and check how many minutes or hours you are spending on your phone every day. By the way, I'm not recommending this app, okay? Use any app which helps to monitor phone usage. The results would shock you. Whatever you want to tell yourself, you will admit that you need to reduce the extent to which you use the phone. Our life is like that. Only thing, we do not have any app to measure. The days and weeks will go past, living the default life you are leading now. You have the power to step back, pause, and check where it is going, how to lead your way. It doesn't mean you need to pack your day with more things. It just means you see the same 24 hours differently. You examine how it can be spent differently so that you feel more fulfilled. So, are you ready to review your 6 months of 2020 and chart out how you want it to be? Remember, you are what you want to be, and the time starts now.